Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Welcome to the 52nd fortnightly session on teaching emotional regulation in the classroom, empowering young minds, tailored exclusively for teachers instructing students from grades 3rd to 12th. It's a pleasure to have each of you join us today. I am Aniket Arora, your moderator for this session, and I'm honored to guide this session. Before we delve into today's topic, I want to express my sincere gratitude to all of you for joining us. Your participation truly enhances this gathering. I would also like to mention that we are thrilled to have you join us today as we explore this crucial aspect of education. Our esteemed speaker, Ms. Kanishka, is an expert in counseling and education, and she will guide us through the intricacies of helping young minds develop emotional regulation skills. For those new to our platform, I would like to inform you that CAMP, the Knowledge and Awareness Mapping Platform, is not just an initiative, it's a commitment to bridging the gap between education and practical application. Our mission is to cultivate a scientific mindset among students while nurturing their hidden talents. Coming back to our session, I would like to highlight that emotional regulation is a fundamental skill that significantly impacts a child's learning and social interactions. It involves the ability to understand, manage, and respond to one's emotion in a healthy and productive manner. In the classroom, effective emotional regulation can enhance students' focus, behavior, and overall well being, creating a more conducive learning environment. I would like to thank all the teachers once again for being part of this enriching experience. Let's make this session a collaborative and insightful one and help the students achieve their best. We encourage active participation throughout the session. So please feel free to share your thoughts, ask questions, and engage with our panelists. Your contributions are highly valued and will enrich our discussion. But before we proceed with today's session, I would like to mention that recently, last month on the 29th of April, CAMP organized its 22nd scientific excursion at the CSIR Institute of Advanced Material and Process Research Institute, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, which was conducted by Knowledge and Awareness Mapping Platform under the Jigyasa and Viksit Bharat program with 250 students accompanied by 10 teachers from the DPS Kolar Road, Bhopal, IES Public Sehor, Bhopal, and IES Public Ratibad, Bhopal. This excursion provided the students with a unique opportunity to delve into the world of science, technology, and innovation. It aimed to instill a passion for scientific exploration and discovery within the students. This program was inaugurated by Dr. D.P. Mandal, Chief Scientist, Head, Alloys Composite and Cellular Material Division, and Dr. Satanand Mishra, Principal Scientist and Jigyasa Coordinator at the CSIR AMPRI, with warm welcome to all the participants. Dr. Mandal oriented them about the research and development activities of the institute, while Dr. Mishra motivated the students to unleash their curiosity. The event was then followed by Dr. Sarika Verma, Dr. Dipen Kumar Rajak, Dr. Kamal Chatterjee, Dr. Mohammed Ashik, who all are scientists at the CSIR AMPRI. Furthermore, Dr. Mishra and his Jigyasa team inspired the students in the scientific pursuit through interactive discussion and lab visits. Within the labs, the students learned several new things in a practical manner with respect to 3D printing lab, Raman spectrometer, hybrid composite, Center for Advanced Radiation Shielding, and geopolymeric materials, CARS and GM. During the excursion, the students got an opportunity to interact with various scientists and research scholars who practically motivated them to pursue their goals. This excursion provided the students with a unique opportunity to delve into the world of science, technology, and innovation. It aimed to instill a passion for scientific exploration and discovery in the students. If you would also like your students to participate in such excursion and get a chance to explore, discover, and engage with various scientific disciplines in a real-world setting, please do check out the link below to learn more about how they can participate. For any support, you can also get in touch with our team through the given helpline number in the chat box. Similarly, the next day, on the 30th of April, CAMP conducted a specialized teacher training program at the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, Advanced Material and Processes Research Institute, AMPRI, in collaboration with the Central Board of Secondary Education for over 150 principals and teachers. The program focused on the theme exploring inquiry-based learning, fostering scientific curiosity in the classroom. This event marked CAMP's seventh continuous professional development program tailored for educators in collaboration with the Central Board of Secondary Education. This program was inaugurated by Dr. A.K. Srivastav, Director CSIR AMPRI, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, and Dr. Satanand Mishra, Principal Scientist and Jigyasa Coordinator at the CSIR AMPRI, with a warm welcome to Mr. Ashish Kumar Mittal, Project Director, CAMP, and all the participants. During the training, the teachers were given training sessions on various topics like environmental impact assessment, Raman spectroscope, change in diet as concerned in today's world by various scientists from CSIR AMPRI. If you would also like to register for one such training program at your nearest CSIR lab, please check out for upcoming CPD training program list on our website and feel free to enroll in them. For any support, again, you can get in touch with our team to the given helpline number in the chat box below. Well, without further ado, let's begin our journey into the realm of teaching emotional regulation in the classroom, empowering young minds, where Ms. Kanishka will guide us through the intricacies of helping young minds develop emotional regulation skills. I'd like to invite Ms. Kanishka, who is a dedicated counselor at the Directorate of Education, GNCT of Delhi, with 3 years of experience in the field, specializing in child and adolescent counseling as well as mental health counseling. She has made significant contribution to the well-being of young minds in educational settings. Her commitment to fostering emotional and psychological growth in students underscores her role as an invaluable asset to the educational community. Well, Ms. Kanishka, I'd like to invite you on stage. Ms. Kanishka?
Thank you, Mr. Aniket, for this opportunity. And I'm very grateful that today I'm having this session with you and all our participants. So shall we go ahead?
Yes, please.
Sure. Okay. So first of all, a very warm welcome to all the participants in today's session. So as Mr. Aniket has already introduced me, so I won't repeat it. Before starting the session, I would like you to go into your childhood and adolescence. And in this throughout this session, please feel as if you are a child, so that you can so that it can help you to process all your emotions and help you to understand children studying in your classroom. So are we all ready? Can we have any interaction with the participants? All right, all right. So, Mr. Aniket, would you please share the PPTs with us?
Yes, I'll just share the screen.
So, all right. So now let's start. And before going deep into the session, so I would state one thing here. I would like to keep the session bilingual. So if any one of you has any query, or let's say if you have any difficulty regarding language, so you can put it in the chat box, or we can take it in the last. So Okay. So, emotional regulation in classroom. So, हम सबकी जर्नी ऑलमोस्ट एक जैसी रही है. दिस इज आई एम सेइंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ आर डेवलपमेंट. सो हम सब पहले एज ऑफस्प्रिंग हमने एक बेबी के रूप में जन्म लिया. देन वी स्टेप अहेड टू आवर चाइल्डहुड. देन एडोलेसेंस आया. उसके बाद हम लोग अपने करियर मेकिंग फेज में आए. लेटर ऑन some of us got married and are having children. And in this continuum, further on, जैसे जैसे हमारी एजिंग होती जाएगी वैसे वैसे we will be uh, near to the end of our life, right? So this line, ये लाइन जो है हम सब फॉलो कर रहे हैं, राइट? ऐसा कोई नहीं है जो इस लाइन के अलग जिसका डेवलपमेंट हो रहा हो. सो वी ऑल आर ऑन द सेम पेज, राइट? Now, we need to understand one thing, that since children are not equipped with let's say कि उनके पास इतनी भाषा नहीं होती है, they don't have vocabulary to express their emotions or their feelings. So how can we help them? So if we look at the content, so first we will be understanding what is emotion and what are the types of emotions. Then further on we will do an activity to understand the emotions. Next to it, we will go into a conceptual theory to understand how emotions are processed in our body, and how different parts such as our mental processes, our body processes, how they facilitate emotions. Further on, looking at child's way of expressing emotions. And then comes to the point, the strategies to manage emotions, that how can we teach our students to be better at emotional regulation. So please move to the next slide. Next one. Can you move to next slide, please? Okay. So what is emotions? So can any one of you share what do you understand by emotions? I just wanted to know what are your viewpoint, what emotion is, or whatever you understand about it. You can respond in chat box. Can some have come up? Can somebody come up with their explanation of emotions? Uh, Sir, can we allow our participants to speak?
Yes, we can. You can call them by name and I can unmute them. Should I
Okay,
unmute Archie?
Dr. Vijaya Roy has mentioned that it is a reaction to any situation. Okay. Anyone else?
We have a few hands raised. Can we just
Yes,
pick one
yes.
by one? So I'll start with Anshika Mishra. Can you please unmute yourself and ask? Okay. Okay, Miss Vibha, can you unmute yourself and ask? Some of them don't even have their mic. Kanishka, you're on mute.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible now.
Yeah, okay, so sorry. Okay, so we have already received some responses in our chat box. So some of you are saying that this is our emotions are our experience or our reaction towards situations. They are complex and they are just a second. Yes, how one react to with any situation. Okay, you all are fine in your understanding. So as per American Psychological Association, so emotion is defined as a complex reaction pattern involving experiential, behavioral, and physiological elements. So, okay, what it means is that whenever we are experiencing any emotion, so there are certain components which are interacting with each other. So these components are our behavior, our action, are physiological elements. So these are basically our physiological reactions, such as our pupil dilation or increase in our heart rate or breathing pattern may change hona, or else let's say ki, whenever we are afraid, so or we are feeling anxious, so our palms get sweat. They are full of sweat like that. Okay, so the physiological components are associated with our body and the reactions of our nervous system. Next, how they affect our behavior. So whenever this cycle of neural communication takes place, though it affects our feelings and eventually it gives rise to our behavior. So let's take an example. If I say that कि आपके आगे एक lion आ गया, so what would be your reaction? Okay,
बात सब
fear
कैपेसिटी
and
लगा के बोल रहा हूँ.
run away from there. Okay, and chaos, fear. All right. Would try to move out of situation. Okay, ठीक है. So I hope you are able to understand how behavior, physiological elements, and our feelings, they are working simultaneously and they are giving rise to emotion. Okay, so we often say that I'm feeling emotional because of XYZ situation, or I'm feeling emotional because this bad thing happened to me, right? So emotions ऐसा नहीं है कि हम एक लंबे टाइम तक इमोशन को महसूस करते हैं, वो हर थोड़े थोड़े समय में चेंज होते रहते हैं. Okay, and we often get confused with emotion and feeling. So here we need to draw a line between them. We need to understand what is emotion exactly and what is feeling. So moving to next slide. Aniket, would you please move to next slide?
Sorry.
Will you please move to next slide?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. So as I said earlier, so we need to understand the difference between feeling and emotion. Okay. So feelings are part of emotions. So इसको हम ऐसे समझते हैं कि एक बड़ा सा बॉक्स है और उसके अंदर हमने कई सारी चीजें भर रखी, ठीक है, और उस बॉक्स को हमने एक नाम दे दिया. So that box is emotion and the components in it are feelings. Okay. So जो हमारे इमोशन होता है दैट इज क्विक. ओके, वो हमेशा एक जैसा नहीं रहता है. सो यू हैव ऑल्सो एक्सपीरियंस कि अभी थोड़ी देर पहले हम किसी चीज की वजह से सैड थे एंड थोड़ी देर के बाद हमें सैडनेस महसूस नहीं हो रही है, वी आर फीलिंग हैप्पी ड्यू टू समथिंग एल्स, राइट? और लेट्स से कि एग्जाम की वजह से मूड खराब था या घर में कुछ ऐसा सिचुएशन हो गया जिसकी वजह से हमारा लाइफ कंडीशन थोड़ा सा लो हो गया, बट समथिंग हैपेंड और वी ट्राइड टू ओवरकम इट एंड आवर मूड चेंजेस. ठीक है. सो वी हमने वहां से अपना अटेंशन थोड़ा डाइवर्ट किया एंड वी स्टार्टेड फोकसिंग ऑन डिफरेंट थिंग्स एंड वी बिकेम हैप्पी और लेट्स से कि वी बिकम कंटेंट. ओके, सो दिस इज हाउ इमोशंस आर लाइक एक से दूसरे पे जंप करते हैं. ठीक है. एंड दे आर कलेक्शन ऑफ आर सब्जेक्टिव एक्सपीरियंसेस. अब जो ये सब्जेक्टिव एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं, यही हमारी फीलिंग्स हैं. ये स्लोली एंड ग्रेजुअली इंक्रीज होती है. दे टेक प्लेस, आर फीलिंग्स टेक प्लेस स्लोली एंड ग्रेजुअली. ऐसा नहीं है कि अभी हमें रोने का मन कर रहा है, ठीक है, तो हम एकदम नेक्स्ट सेकंड में हम एकदम हंस जाएंगे. दैट विल बी वेरी अनयूजुअल बिहेवियर, राइट. सो धीरे 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 फीलिंग्स जो है हमारी वो डेवलप होती है, टेक प्लेस करती है. और उसके बाद में थ्रू आर बॉडी सेंसेशंस, ठीक है, वी आर एबल टू कॉल इट इमोशन. उसके दोनों के कॉम्बिनेशन के साथ में हम उसे इमोशन का नाम देते हैं. ओके, सो कैन वी मूव अहेड प्लीज. Okay, so there are some six types of emotions. So happiness, anger, sadness, fear, disgust, surprise. So बहुत से साइकोलॉजिस्ट ने कई सारे इमोशंस के नाम दिए हैं. देयर आर मोर देन 100 टाइप्स ऑफ इमोशंस. बट उतने सारे इमोशंस को एक साथ लाना थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट था. सो उनमें से कुछ बेसिक इमोशंस आइडेंटिफाई किए गए एंड उनको हमने इन सिक्स कैटेगरी में डिवाइड कर दिया. सो वी फील हैप्पी वेन एवर समथिंग गुड हैपन्स टू अस. सो लेट्स से कि सैलरी का इंक्रीमेंट हो गया, राइट. सो वी विल बी ओवर द मून कि ओ आई गॉट दिस मच हाइक, राइट. एंगर कि ऑफिस जा रहे हैं, स्कूल जा रहे हैं एंड वी आर गेटिंग लेट, रास्ते में रेड लाइट मिल गई, या लेट्स से कि बहुत ज्यादा ट्रैफिक जैम है. सो वी फील फ्रस्ट्रेटेड, वी फील कि जल्दी से बस ये रेड लाइट एंड हो एंड आई शुड रीच टू माई वर्क प्लेस एज सुन एज पॉसिबल, राइट. देन सैडनेस. ओके, सो वी फील वेरी डिसहार्टेंड, वी फील मिसरेबल कि ओके अब तो मेरी सिचुएशन का कुछ सोल्यूशन है ही नहीं, राइट. वी फील hopeless. Then there is fear. So we feel worried, we feel anxious, and we feel, oh, ab kya hoga? We go into the future, right? And we start imagining things. Then disgust. So we feel disturbed, we feel offended, and due to things because of which we don't feel comfortable. Uh, Surprise. So we get excited to see things जो हमने कभी एक्सपेक्ट ही नहीं करी, राइट. सो it can give us shock and it can give us moving to happiness also. Okay. So please move to next slide. Okay, so now activity time. I would like all of you to participate in this activity so that we can process our emotions and further facilitate emotional activity or understanding of emotions to our students. Okay, so okay, uh, I request all of you to sit comfortably and close your eyes. Pay attention to my voice or what instructions I'm giving to you. For the upcoming 10 minutes, we will be following a breathing pattern. Inhale and exhale. We are ready to move further. Now I want you to close your eyes and put your hand on your stomach. Start feeling how your stomach is contracting and expanding when you inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, Exhale. You're feeling relaxed. At this point of time, many thoughts must be entering in our consciousness, or we must be getting some thoughts. Let them come. Let these thoughts come. Don't react to these thoughts. Just observe them. We will keep quiet for a few moments. Now, I want you to imagine a situation which makes you really happy. It can be a birthday, it can be a success, it can be anything that makes you happy. Now, amidst this happiness, I'm sharing situation to whom you may have different experience or feeling. It depends on individual how he or she experience the situation. You got to know from your boss that he or she will be firing you after a week. This is causing different reaction in our body, in our mind. You're trying to overcome it through taking various actions. These actions depend on you. After taking this action, you were able to have a dialogue with your boss, and he gave you another chance to work in his company. Again, you're feeling a different emotion after receiving the news that you are not going to lose your job. We are feeling peaceful and content. Now, we will take deep breath 3 times. Open our eyes when I count to 3. Focus all your attention on your surrounding noise. 1, 2, 3. Please relax yourself, and I want one or two of you to share the experience of this exercise, of this activity. So through this, the objective of this activity was to invoke emotions in us. Okay. So you must have experienced how your bodily sensations were, okay, when you were happy and suddenly you received the bad news, how it made you feel in low life condition, or let's say sad or anxious, right? Then again, how you felt the emotion, or how you felt relaxed when you received the happier version of your job or the situation. So this is how situations impact us. Okay, so this is how our bodily responses facilitate our emotions. Aniket, can we please move to next slide? Okay, so now we will be through this activity, we will able to understand how emotions are processed. Please move next. Okay, so there is a theory by Shastra and Singer. So they both were psychologists who worked in the field of emotions and motivation. So they gave a two-factor theory where they said that our physiological arousal determines, or it let's say कि ये निर्धारित करते हैं that how we will appraise or how we will evaluate the situation, and together they give rise to our emotions, right? So सबसे पहले एक कुछ triggering event हुआ, ठीक है? जिसकी वजह से हमारी बॉडी के रिस्पॉन्सेस चेंज हुए। अभी हमारी बॉडी कुछ देर पहले बहुत नॉर्मल थी, राइट, बट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट ट्रिगरिंग इवेंट हमारी बॉडी में कुछ चेंजेस हुए। जैसे कि जब हमें डर लगता है, ठीक है, सो वी फील कि हमारे स्टमक में, एब्डोमेन में बटरफ्लाईज जो हैं वो दे आर मूविंग, राइट। और व्हेन वी आर एंग्री वी फील जो हमारे शोल्डर्स हैं, हमारे आर्म्स हैं, राइट, कि उनके मसल्स जो हैं वो बहुत ज्यादा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं, राइट। या हमारी जो जॉ है, राइट, दे आर कॉन्ट्रैक्टेड। तो इस तरह से हमारी बॉडी में पहले फिजियोलॉजिकल चेंज होता है, देन उसके बाद कॉग्निटिव अप्रेजल होता है। कॉग्निटिव अप्रेजल से मीनिंग है कि जो भी हमारी मेंटल प्रोसेसेस है, हमारी लर्निंग, हमारी मेमोरी, अटेंशन, आर आर डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस, आर प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्किल्स, ठीक है, they all are working all together and they are evaluating, they are examining the situation, that is the situation harmful or is the situation normal, okay. So both of them give rise to emotion, okay, and together because of this we label the emotion, okay, we feel different feelings. So let's say कि अगर मैंने एक बच्चे को पेन दिया, ठीक है, तो जरूरी नहीं है कि उस बच्चे का रिस्पॉन्स हैप्पीनेस ही हो, ही में फील कि अच्छा ठीक है मैम ने पेन ही तो दिए है ना, ठीक है। वहीं ही माइट फील दिस बिकॉज उसको पहले भी इस तरीके का कोई रिवॉर्ड मिल चुका हो। बट ऐसे बच्चे के बारे में सोचो जिसको लेट्स से कि वो बच्चा इतना एकेडमिकली वो इतना इक्विप्ड नहीं है, या वो एकेडमिकली थोड़ा लो स्केल पे है, ठीक है, या लो स्कोरर है। तो जब हम उसको पेन दे रहे हैं, सो इट विल बी अ रिवॉर्ड फॉर हिम, इट विल फैसिलिटेट गुड इमोशंस फॉर हिम, ठीक है। सो इवेंचुअली दीज थिंग विल लीड्स टू सब्जेक्टिव फीलिंग्स एंड बिहेवियरल चेंज। तो जैसा हम फील कर रहे हैं उसके अकॉर्डिंग ही हम एक्शंस लेंगे। सो इफ वी आर हैप्पी we will spread happiness, or we will share or we will do good deeds, right? Or let's say if we are feeling angry, okay, so we will try to isolate ourselves, or we will crib, or we may let's say ki we may destruct something, okay. So this is how emotions are processed, and our body and mental resources together work to process, label our emotions, okay. Please move to next slide. Okay. So children expressing their emotions. Okay. So as adults we know कि हम कब कैसा महसूस करते हैं। आई एक्सपेक्ट कि हम में से कुछ लोग ये जानते हैं कि अच्छा हमें कब गुस्सा आता है, ठीक है, या व्हाट मेक्स अस हैप्पी और व्हाट मेक्स अस अनकंफर्टेबल, और कौन सी ऐसा ट्रिगरिंग इवेंट है दैट गिव्स अस एंजाइटी, ओके। सो बट बच्चे जो हैं, ठीक है, वो वर्बली अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर पाते हैं, या उनके पास सही टर्मिनोलॉजी नहीं, ठीक है। सो दे शो देयर इमोशंस थ्रू थिंग्स, ठीक है। सो सम ऑफ द चाइल्ड, जैसे टीचर्स डे पे होता है, राइट, सो ऑन टीचर्स डे usually the students, ठीक है, they gift some let's say flowers or anything else to their favorite teacher. So this is through their actions they are experiencing, they are expressing themselves or their emotions to their teacher, right. So moving to next slide. Okay. So if we look at our classroom, ठीक है, हमें दोनों सेट के बच्चे मिलेंगे। एक सेट होगा who are well disciplined, ठीक है, and एक सेट होगा who are having certain issues, ठीक है। They might be having issue at their home or with their peer, or let's say they are having difficulty in adjusting in class, okay. So they show their behavior through yell and scream, okay. I'm sure there is कोई ऐसी सिंगल क्लास नहीं होगी जहाँ पे बच्चे शोर नहीं मचाते हो, जहाँ बच्चे लड़ते नहीं हो, राइट। चाइल्ड एक्सप्रेस हिज और हर इमोशन थ्रू क्राइंग ऑल्सो। कई बार ऐसा होता है ना कि बच्चों को डर लग रहा है, तो वो किसी और को बोलने की जगह या अपने किसी ट्रस्टवर्दी पर्सन के साथ उसे शेयर करने की जगह दे विल स्टार्ट क्राइंग कि ओ नाउ इट विल बी अ डेड एंड, ओके। एंड picking fights hoga, accordingly if they are afraid, if they are fearful, they will avoid the person or the situation, okay. And they will feel worried, isolated, depending on the emotion they are experiencing. Okay, so if they are experiencing anger, so they will go into fights, they will scream, they might on extreme level bully भी कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. Can you please अनिकेत आप पीछे जाएंगे प्लीज एक मिनट. ओके, अच्छा. ओके, सो डिफरेंट इमोशन को एक्सपीरियंस कर रहा है बच्चा, तो वो डिफरेंट तरह से उसे शो करेगा. ठीक है. ओके, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. नेक्स्ट वन. ओके, सो बच्चे को हमें ये चीज सिखानी बहुत जरूरी है कि उसको अपने इमोशंस की पहचान कैसे करनी है, उसके इमोशंस का उस पर क्या इफेक्ट पड़ रहा है, एंड हाउ ही कैन मैनेज, हाउ ही कैन एक्सप्रेस हिमसेल्फ अप्रोप्रिएटली. बिकॉज अगर बच्चा बार बार एक ही डिस्ट्रक्टिव बिहेवियर शो करेगा, सो देयर आर चांसेस कि उसके लाइफ के और भी एरियाज हैम्पर होंगे, और भी उसको डिफिकल्टीज आएंगी. उसको एकेडमिक्स में, लर्निंग में इसको प्रॉब्लम आएगी, बिकॉज he will be preoccupied with the thought कि okay, I was rebuked for XYZ thing, and what would I do if I learn this thing, right? It will hamper his or her problem solving and decision making skills. एक अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट बच्चा बन सकता है. बट अगर उसको हमने सही टाइम पे सिखा दिया कि वो अपने इमोशंस को कैसे कंट्रोल कर सकता है, दैट ही इज द मास्टर ऑफ हिज माइंड, नॉट द अदर्स, then he will develop into a fully functioning person, a confident one. And इसी के साथ साथ उसके लाइफ का जो और पीयर डेवलपमेंट है, या लेट्स से कि उसका साइको इमोशनल डेवलपमेंट है, ठीक है, उसका करियर डेवलपमेंट भी, वो सब इस चीजों से कहीं ना कहीं बहुत इफेक्ट होगा. ठीक है. सो इमोशनल रेगुलेशन, सो इट इज द प्रोसेस थ्रू विच वी आइडेंटिफाई आवर इमोशंस. ठीक है, we label it basically, and then we after processing it, so we get to know कि how am I feeling, how can I manage, and how can I express this thing. Okay, so it can be automatic or controlled, can be conscious or unconscious. So if we say that it is automatic or this is unconscious, this is something जहाँ पे बच्चा अपने व्यवहार को लेकर के एकदम अनजान है कि what he or she is doing. Okay, and ही इज कम्प्लीटली अनअवेयर कि उसके जो भी वो स्टेप्स ले रहा है, एक्शंस ले रहा है, उसके फर्दर क्या प्रोज एंड कॉन्स हो सकते हैं, हाउ इट विल इफेक्ट हिम और अदर पीपल. Whereas if we say that it is that our emotional regulation is controlled and it is conscious, it means that the person or the child is aware what he or she is doing, and how his thoughts, his feelings, his action would bear the result. Moving to next slide. Okay. So in our classroom, we can teach managing emotions in children. Along with teaching, I know it's quite difficult to have time to teach children about such things, right? But we have to be conscious of the thing that if we teach children about their emotions and their understanding, okay, we are giving them a foundation. Okay, and through this foundation ultimately teachers को ही फायदा होना है. They will be able to manage their classes uh, more wisely and more effectively. So present present children with any situation, okay, and let them come up with their answers. So this is a kind of activity that you can do with your students. Okay, so after introducing them to any situation, okay, it can be subjective. You can ask them, okay, which situation makes you happy, write about it, write these things, for these mention for these four things about it, or you can present them with a situation. Okay, as we did in our activity, previous activity. So when you present this situation to children, okay, they ask them how they're experiencing it. Okay, is it making them happy or sad, or is it eliciting any emotion in them? Okay, and बच्चा यूजुअली, अगर छोटा बच्चा होगा वो यूजुअली ऐसे बोलेगा कि अच्छा लग रहा है, बुरा लग रहा है, समझ में नहीं आ रहा क्या होगा. अगर थोड़ा बड़ा बच्चा होगा, लेट्स से कि एडोलेसेंट, दे आर मोर वोकल. ठीक है, सो वो एक्सप्रेस कर पाएंगे कि आई एम फीलिंग bad because of this, or I'm feeling this thing, right? Moving to next, what are the triggers? अब उसको हमें ये बताना है कि अच्छा फील तो ये चीज हो रही है, बट उसके क्या ट्रिगर्स हैं, क्या ऐसी चीज है, क्या स्टिमुलस है जिससे हमारा ऐसा रिस्पॉन्स आए, ठीक है? So the child will be able to identify, okay, this was the situation, because of this action I felt this, okay, and introduce them with different triggers as per the situation, ठीक है ना? Then what is your strategy or action plan? So we need to make our students empowered, ठीक है, by making them aware कि okay, in this situation what you can do, okay. So some of them might like to talk it out, ठीक है, some of them might be like कि बहुत एक impulsive action लेना, ठीक है। अब उस एक्शन का हमें इन्हें कंसिक्वेंस बताना है कि उसके कुछ रिपरकशंस हैं या कुछ उसके फायदा होने वाला, ठीक है। सो थ्रू दिस दे वी विल बी एबल टू इनकलकेट इमोशनल रेगुलेशन इन आवर चिल्ड्रन, okay. Moving to next slide. Okay, so as we were talking about action plan, so these are some of the steps that we can teach them. So whenever a child is feeling aggressive or they are into bullying, okay, bullying is a serious problem in our schools. So we need to keep a check on our students, okay. So if any of the student is like is feeling impulsive or aggressive, so we need to cool them down कि पहले relax हो जाओ, then we will take action. Otherwise in the haphazard हमारे actions गलत हो सकते हैं and हमारी मिस्टेक नहीं होगी, उसके बाद भी हम गलत प्रूफ हो सकते हैं, ओके। सो वी नीड टू फर्स्ट काम देम डाउन, उनको आप डीप ब्रीदिंग करा सकते हैं। सो माइंडफुलनेस कैन बी डन एंड देयर आर डिफरेंट टेक्निक्स ऑफ माइंडफुलनेस, ओके। देयर आर कॉटन बॉल टेक्निक्स जिसमें बच्चा एक इमेजिनरी कॉटन बॉल पे फोकस करता है, या फिर देयर इज अ लीफ टेक्निक, सो वो अपने इमोशंस एक इमेजिनरी लीफ पे जर्नल कर रहा है। थ्रू देम the child is able to calm down, grounded होता है, ठीक है। Reverse counting और so these are some of the techniques to calm down the child. Then using I statements. So यहाँ हमें बच्चे को थोड़ा assertiveness सिखाना होगा कि okay, if you are feeling bad, ठीक है, kicking or shouting at someone is not a solution, okay. So you need to behave within the boundaries. If you cross the boundary, it will be wrong for you and it will be wrong for the other child also, okay. So let's say कि if the child said कि मैम इसने मुझे मारा, that's why I abuse him. So यहाँ पे हमें child को बताना होगा कि I statements हम कैसे use कर सकते हैं कि I felt bad, ठीक है, उसका उस kicking से उसको he felt bad and he felt pain. So here he can use such kind of statements. Or let's say कि if the child is feeling insulted, so he can communicate his feelings and emotions that I would like to move away from this place because I'm not feeling comfortable as the people are behaving with me. Okay, they can scribble on paper. So what happens? So our psyche or our energy, okay, so it moves into the direction where we want it to flow, ठीक है। सो अगर हम बच्चे को ये बोलेंगे कि अपना जो भी if he is feeling sad, so he can note it down on paper or he can just like कलर के साथ ना पेंसिल के साथ न्यूज़पेपर पे या किसी प्लेन पेपर पे भी he can just scribble, he can just whatever जैसे हम लोग चौक घिसते हैं, सिमिलरली लाइक दैट वो अपनी पेंसिल या कलर को घिस रहा है। थ्रू दिस जो उसके अंदर एट दैट टाइम वो एक इमोशनल टर्बुलेंस से एक डिस्ट्रक्टिव एनर्जी उसके अंदर जो कलेक्ट हुई थी, इट विल बी चैनलाइज्ड थ्रू दिस टू गो अवे टू सूट द चाइल्ड, ठीक है। देन टॉकिंग टू समवन ट्रस्टवर्दी, सो इफ द चाइल्ड इज हैविंग such kind of issues, so अगर पेरेंट्स के साथ उसका बॉन्डिंग अच्छा है, ठीक है, तो उनके साथ अपने he can share his heart, his feelings, or if there is any student or let's say if he feels comfortable with teacher, he can share it to them, right? So that at that moment बच्चा जो चीज फील कर रहा है वो बाहर निकल जाए, अदरवाइज जो ये इमोशंस अंदर ट्रैप हो जाएंगे, they will cause more problems, they will hamper, okay. Or he or she can go to counselor in his or her school if they are having the same. Then can we move to next slide? Yeah. So that was all from my side. Now we are open for the Q&A round. So I would ask you if you have any doubts and we can discuss over them. I think Miss Reena Sharma she has to ask something. Okay, so can we let her ask the question?
Yes, sure. Ms. Shreya Sharma, can you please unmute yourself and ask your question? You can unmute yourself. Okay. Ms. Reena, am I audible to you? If you have a question, can you please turn on your video as well?
Or if you feel comfortable, you can post a question in chat box as well.
Yeah, hello. Hi.
Yeah. Hello,
Am
ma'am.
I audible, ma'am?
All right, so we
Yes,
have
yes.
Deepika Singh.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am,
actually,
yeah.
as we have an inclusive school, so we have different type of students, like some are autistic and some are different students. So how to
Mm-hmm.
deal with them? They have different temperament. All the students, generally the autistic students have a different temperament.
Mm-hmm.
So how to deal with them? It's difficult because in a large class, it's very difficult to deal with such students. And if we have two or three or four such type of students, so it becomes very difficult for us.
Okay. Ma'am, is there any special educator in your school?
Yeah, we have, but still,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay. So, ma'am, look, what happened in autism? Okay. So the child is जैसे हमारा कम्युनिकेशन सोशल कम्युनिकेशन टू बी मोर प्रिसाइज, ठीक है। ऑटिज्म वाले बच्चे जो होते हैं इनका सोशल कम्युनिकेशन पुअर होता है, राइट। एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट दे आर नॉट एबल टू एक्सप्रेस देमसेल्फ, दे थ्रो टैंट्रम्स, ठीक है। दे वांट एक उनका रिजिड पैटर्न होता है कि मुझे चीज इस तरह से करनी है तो इस तरह से ही करनी है। इफ देर इज एनी थोड़ा सा भी अगर इसमें स्लाइटली चेंज होगा, सो दे विल क्रिएट कि सो दे विल क्रिएट प्रॉब्लम, ठीक है, बिकॉज दे आर एक्सपीरियंसिंग। सो फॉर देम आई वुड से मैम कि आपको उस बच्चे के साथ थोड़ा लंबा टाइम लगेगा एज कम्पेयर टू एनी अदर चाइल्ड, ठीक है, बिकॉज उस बच्चे की नीड्स डिफरेंट है। एंड यू कैन बहुत सिंपल सिंपल स्टेप्स में आप उसको इस चीज के बारे में सिखा सकती हैं कि ओके जब हम कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, इन किस तरह से करना है। सो लेट्स से कि थैंक यू या हैंडशेक करना है, ठीक है। सो गिव देम रिवॉर्ड और एनीथिंग दैट दे लाइक। I'm sure that child must be he must like something, ठीक है। So keep that thing as reward, so it will give him reinforcement, positive reinforcement rather, ठीक है। And slowly gradually, ठीक है, वो बच्चा धीरे 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 ही विल ट्राई। ऐसा भी हो सकता है बिकॉज ऑफ हिज कंडीशंस कि वो इनिशिएट ना ले, ठीक है। तो इसमें थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा एंड यू हैव टू कीप प्रैक्टिसिंग, ठीक है। सो लेट्स से कि आपने चेनिंग कर दी, तो चेनिंग इज लाइक कि आपने उसको पहले एक उसके साथ में बॉन्ड बनाया, ठीक है। देन आप उसको किसी और बच्चे के साथ उसको इंक्लूड करना चाहते हो, ठीक है। सो उस सो द अदर चाइल्ड, ठीक है, वो उस बच्चे को कैसे सपोर्ट कर रहा है, ठीक है, और लेट्स से कि उस बच्चे के साथ में थोड़ा सा उसको रख, इवेंचुअली जब बच्चे को धीरे 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 लगने लगता है कि ओके दिस इज पार्ट ऑफ माय एनवायरनमेंट, ठीक है, तो वो धीरे धीरे फिर ओपन अप होना शुरू होगा।
Okay, thank you. Actually, the same thing I try in my class, but since it's very difficult to deal with these types of students. First of all, the parents don't tell us
Mhm.
about the condition of the students, but and after that, it becomes quite difficult for us to deal with such students.
Okay. So, ma'am, in such a case, what you can done, like जब भी बच्चे का admission हो रहा है, or if the child is coming in your class, ठीक है, jumping from one to another class, so you can ask the previous class teacher, ठीक है, या if let's say he or she is a new नया admission, ठीक है ना, so वहाँ admission form में already as per government of India this is a rule that every school has to follow कि अगर बच्चा CWSN है, ठीक है, so उसकी आइडेंटिटी छुपाई नहीं जा सकती, ठीक है, so
छुपाई नहीं जा
you
सकती, but what the parents actually don't go for such type of tests, na?
ma'am here the parent
And
needs to
sometimes it happens that
understand.
we need to tell the parent that please go for
Hmm.
such types of matlab, for a psychologist, get the child
Hmm.
matlab, get the child tested
Hmm.
for it.
I'm
It
getting it.
happens so many
Hmm.
times, yeah.
Hmm. ओके मैम, अगर हम एक पेरेंट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखें तो उनके लिए भी तो ये चीज एक्सेप्ट करनी डिफिकल्ट
Exactly,
है ना,
exactly.
राइट, सो एट टाइम्स पेरेंट्स आर अवेयर, ठीक है, ऐसे भी पेरेंट्स हैं जो अवेयर होते हैं, बट मोस्टली हमें ऐसे ही पेरेंट्स मिलेंगे हु वोंट
Not
अलाइन
aware.
विद दैट थॉट
Yeah.
प्रोसेस,
Who are
राइट,
not aware.
so in such scenario you can take help of the special educator. I feel for parent, either your special education teacher or any counselor in your school would be able to handle it better, right, because parents को क्या होता है, they need psycho education, okay, once they get psycho educated, when once they get knowledge कि okay this is my child's condition, ठीक है, वो थोड़ा उसको प्रोसेस करेंगे, इट विल टेक टाइम, एंड आफ्टर दैट वो नेक्स्ट स्टेप पे जाएंगे जो उनका असेसमेंट है, या अगर उन्हें थेरेपी चाहिए बच्चे के लिए, ऑल दिस।
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other question?
Thank you.
Is there any other one? I'm okay. 4 hands are raised by. So, whosoever wants to ask question, he or she may unmute themselves. Okay, what should be the frequency of such activities in the classroom? Okay, so Dr. Vijaya Roy, I would say we can do mindfulness for 5 minutes before starting our class. Okay, uh, it will um, it will help children to become emotionally calm and grounded, and further on, you can facilitate your class or you can carry on with your class. So I would suggest at least do such activity, okay, or let's say even if you're doing mindfulness in the starting of your class, okay, it will help them. Or if you see once in a while, so we can make let's say um, wonderful Wednesday or cheerful Saturday. So we on that day we can in our period we can dedicate our whole period for that activity only. Okay. So step by step and activity after activity, the child will get to know. Okay, I can do this thing. Yeah. So ma'am, Mr. Munib Nabi, Ma'am, I sent questions. Please answer. Sir, I haven't received your question. Would you please send it again? Mr. Munir, would you please send your question again? Or you can unmute yourself to share your question. Okay, so I feel, okay, what if two such students are put together? Will they understand and help each other? Um, okay. Okay, two students, ma'am, I'm not able to understand what kind of students are you talking here about? Are they like CWSN or are they other than CWSN? Um, okay, okay, CWSN. Okay, ma'am, see, with CWSN, there are different things. Okay. There are categories of CWSN. Some are physically handicapped, like, right? Well, some are having problem on intellectual level. Okay. Such as autism or let's say ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or some of them are they have SLD, specific learning disability. They might be having a difficulty in their academics, right? जैसे you must have seen in तारे जमीन पर कि वो B को D बना देता है, right? So here we need to identify what category of CWSN that child is, ठीक है? And if the child is able, let's say कि if we have combination, ठीक है? First, to see जो दोनों CWSN बच्चे हैं, ठीक है? We have to check their intellectual level, ठीक है? After determining it, we can go further. Okay. So, is there any other question? Actually, we are running short of time. We have already exceeded. So, if any one of you wants to ask any questions, so please pick up because we have to wind up as well. Okay. So, ma'am, if any student who is in class 7th or 8th standard, he disturbs teachers during class daily and not sit properly on his feet. And if teacher asks him, what is your problem? Then he starts arguments with teacher. Then what we should do in that situation? Okay, ma'am. Okay. So you must have studied reinforcement in your BA. So apply that thing. So we need to take help of reinforcement. So uh, if there is anything that a child really likes a lot, okay, remove that thing, right? Usually जैसे बच्चों के साथ करते थे ना कि the disturbing child and his friend, they both are sitting together and उनको separate कर देते थे so that कि वो class को disturb ना करे. So similarly like that we have to we have to take up such kind of strategies. Okay. So first, you need to check what that child really likes a lot. Okay. Remove that thing from his environment. Okay. And when he is behaving accordingly, okay, when he's following your instructions, okay, add him with something good. So let's say कि आपने उसको praise कर दिया, okay, or you're just did a pat on his shoulder, okay. So this is how the child will understand, okay, what are the things that will cause me, या जो मेरी पसंद की चीज है वो मुझसे ले ली जाएगी, सो मैं ऐसा ना करूं जिससे टीचर फर्दर ऑन मुझे कोई सजा दे, या कोई लेट्स से कि कोई बिकॉज बच्चे को ऐसा लग रहा होता है कि मुझे पनिशमेंट मिल रही है, ऑल्दो वो पनिशमेंट है नहीं, ठीक है. सो यू कैन टेक सच काइंड ऑफ स्ट्रैटेजीज. How to deal with emotions of a child who has single parent or whose parents are undergoing separation. Okay, so ma'am, here for such child, okay, it is very difficult for that child to experience all such kind of things. Okay, and so at such point of time, we need to give that child time for healing. Okay. जैसे अभी हमने इमोशंस की अपनी एक्टिविटीज जो यूज करी हैं, यू कैन यूज दैट एक्टिविटी विद चाइल्ड. एंड एम्पैथी, कंपैशन, नॉन जजमेंटल बिहेवियर. प्लीज इन 3 चीजों के लिए आप बहुत डेडिकेटेड रहिए, बिकॉज बच्चा तब ओपन हो पाएगा आपसे जब आप उसको सपोर्ट कर पाए. Right, if he or she sees कि okay, if I want to express anything and मुझे वहां से कुछ क्यों ही नहीं मिल रहा है, कुछ मुझे वहां से हिंट नहीं मिल रही है कि मैं किस तरह अपने इमोशन एक्सप्रेस करूं, तो बच्चा अपने अंदर ही उन इमोशंस को सप्रेस करेगा. ठीक है ना. सो देयर आर 2 वेज. ठीक है, बच्चा या तो अपने इमोशन सप्रेस करेगा ऐसी सिचुएशन में, या फिर वो इफेक्टिवली डील करेगा. ठीक है, कंट्रोल करेगा कि ओके, इस सिचुएशन में व्हाट कैन आई डू. ठीक है. सो फर्स्ट यू नीड टू चेक दिस थिंग. उसके बाद में हमारा जो नेक्स्ट स्टेप आता है कि अगर सप्रेस कर रहा है बच्चा, तो हमें उसे हेल्दी वेज सिखानी है. ठीक है, कि वर्बलाइज करो, और you can put it into drawings or you can put it into thoughts. ठीक है. And इसी के साथ साथ में that child needs nurturance. Okay. So obviously the parent must be going through difficult time. So and child look at the parent. Okay, कि किस तरीके से मैं अपने बच्चे को सपोर्ट कर सकूं. ठीक है, because that is a emotional turmoil for both. So it will be a time for them to अपना बॉन्ड बनाने के लिए या उसको स्ट्रॉन्ग करने के लिए उन्हें अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल सकती है. सो यह पेरेंट का भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है कि उसकी अटैचमेंट अपने बच्चे के साथ कैसे. ठीक है. ओके, एनीथिंग एल्स? So since we have exceeded, so can I request Mr. Aniket to please come up and go with the further proceeding?
Yes, sure. So I'll just put myself back in spotlight.
Okay, just one thing,
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
second. Okay. Okay. Sometimes parent doesn't like to their child made buddy with CWSM. We need to foster this thing, and we need to inculcate this thought in our child that diversity हमें हर जगह मिलेगी. ठीक है. Not all the 5 fingers are not same in length. So similarly, everyone we are meeting is not as same as us. So we need to teach them diversity and its meaning and how to adjust with it. Okay. So now to you, sir.
Right. Thank you so much, Ms. Kanishka, for this enlightening session. First of all, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to you for your invaluable contribution to the success of this 51st fortnightly session, teaching emotional regulation in the classroom, empowering young minds. And because of this session, I'm sure that you are the teachers and everyone has learned a lot from your expertise as a counselor that has brought a unique and insightful perspective to this very workshop. I'd like to thank you again for this insightful and impactful session. Thank you so much.
I'm deeply grateful to you and Kam for giving me such an opportunity. And I hope I was able to address all our participants' need and their expectations. And so all the very best to each one of you from my side. Thank you so much.
I'm sure. Can we have a clap for our speaker today? I'm sure the audience is feeling very grateful, just like me. So can we have a thumbs up or a clap emoji? All right, nice. Very great. I'm sure we look forward to the possibility of collaborating with you again in future.
Sure, I'm also looking for to connect with all of you again with some more exciting things, which will not only help us as a professional, but rather as an individual also.
That'll be great, yes. And if you are on a personal level, if you're feeling content and satisfied and it's all growth oriented. If you are working on your growth, then only you can help others grow. If you yourself are restricted in your growth, then you need that support from others. You cannot help them. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll share a link with all the teachers. This is for this is a learning environment survey that we would like to share with all the students. This would help us understand their environment and what we can do to make the students develop and be best in their environment, or the things that they lack in the environment and that needs to be changed. So please, can you share this learning environment survey with your students and help us help them. Last but not the least, I would like to mention that to learn more about CAM's upcoming scientific excursion and how to participate in them, please check out the link in chat below. Don't miss out on the opportunity to visit various prestigious lab and organizations like the CSIR, ISRO, DRDO, and many others. If you have any further questions or need additional support, feel free to reach out at any of our social media handles or helpline numbers. We are here to assist you on your path to success. Thank you so much to all the teachers who have actively participated and dedicatedly shown their commitment to this personal and professional growth. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now we will end the session and hope to meet you all very soon for another exciting session by CAM. Thank you so much again.